Hey guys, Big Dave here. Today what I'd like to talk to you about briefly is how to work on like a pop solo. If you're working with a cover band, or if you have a tour gig or something, and sometimes you have to play in a certain style where you might have to put across a pop style solo, and that may be something that you're good at. And maybe it's something that you're not so great at. Maybe you're better off at reading the book, and maybe the soloing thing is not quite your cup of tea. Now, one thing that you could practice is taking certain notes and playing them straight, or giving them swell and shaping just some notes. So let's take a very small pattern. I'm going to play B in the key of G. I'm going to play B, D, G, and then upper B, and then A. So this is the notes. Okay? Now, I'm just going to work with those notes and make something more out of them. How I might want to start those notes or develop them into something else. Okay, so I changed it slightly, but not too much. I'm still staying with that same basic phrase. But instead of just playing the first note, I added a little extra thing to it. I went to the lower neighbor. And then I kind of put a small, like a grace note into the upper note. And I wanted to land on the A and make it pretty solid in case I wanted to hold it out or whatever. So the same little phrase. It sounds good, right? But you can make more out of it. You take more authority and add to the note. You also, I'll tell you another thing that helps with these is to pick your strap up a little bit and get more, like if your head's down, you can hear the sound changes right away. And it's also weird. Pick your strap up a little bit. It's a whole different thing. Alright? So, you want to have more of an angle a little bit. Now, what I just did there is, I just took the same line, but instead of just going down to the note, I used some more upper notes above it to get myself down to the same line. Or it might have to be a C natural. Alright, to get into that kind of thing. But I'm still in the key of G for that particular thing. So we might go to the dominant chord somewhere in there, possibly, which would be the D. So you have an A and a C, which are in the D7. And back to the G. I'm just using an example. This is not from a particular tune, but I'm just saying how you could use some of these notes and bring them back into where you want to go, but do something with them. So I'm using, if it was the D7 chord, I'm using the 5th and the 7th, and I'm going up to the D itself. And also, if I do go onto a note, rather than just hold that note and steady, do something with it. Make it a little bigger, make it a little smaller. Like it was, Pablo Casals used to talk about the cello. And doing something with all the notes or whatever. Well, it's the same thing here, If we just play... Oh, that's great, but you're not really pulling it in, You got to do something with it. Do something. Okay? Now, if you're pretty good at the harmonic register, for example, like you're already on the B, so you're already on the B. So I'm not doing any, I'm just using notes that are basically in the D dominant scale at that point. You know, C, A, F sharp. All right, and that might be it. But you should also know how to maneuver yourself through certain chord changes. You want to look at the chord changes and see what happens in those different stages of how the harmonies move, and try to get familiar with notes that you can use. I mean, if it says D7, rather than just playing on D and F sharp, well, it's good, but try to use the 5th, 7th, the 9 a little bit. And if it goes to maybe another passing chord, you might have the A7. So there I used, for example, if that was the A chord, I used the A. C sharp is the 3rd, 5th, which is the E, the F sharp, and the A. And then I went on top of that, just there, I went up to the high C, or you can go up to the C sharp. And you can go up to your D if you need to. So this reads playing tricks on me, whatever. You know, but the thing is, you can go up to the D, and all right. So anyway, the point is, learn your arpeggios and how to bend them around a little bit and find your way around them. And if you're good at your harmonics, you want to practice just going octaves to get there. So anyway, so the point I'm trying to make, and let me see if I can get the screen to come up a little bit. There we go. It's good. The main point I'm trying to make is that you want to take the harmonic structure and just practice blowing through those kind of chord changes and finding some passing tones that work and some harmonics and things. You know, you can hear that, like I just said, I just took this reed out of the case, so it's pretty good. And I would have to work with it. You know, it seems a little dry. I might move the ligature down a little bit. You know, it's kind of high where I put it, so I might move it just down a little bit to free up some of the tones. So that's no big deal. I'll get that all settled up before I'm actually going to do it. So again, try to find little ways that you can go through the harmonies and play through, you know, just little lines that you can call on when you need them. They don't have to be real complicated. Use the upper neighbor, lower neighbor, a little trill, a little this. So anyway, okay, well, as usual, you can always leave a message, and I'll try to get back to you with some information. But this is just, you know, practice through the chord changes, learn some songs, transcribe some solos off of some pop songs. You know, something that you like that has a saxophone solo in it. Take the solo and work with it. Try to change it a little bit so that it has your thing to it, and create a solo for yourself also. Okay, I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes, and there we go. Have a good day.